Alright, I got all 8 pages. What's that noise? Oh, fuck. Slender Man. So Slender Man is the newest PG-13 movie pile of shit to hit the theaters this weekend. It tells a story about a group of friends who are apparently friends. They don't have much chemistry together, but apparently they're friends, and they watch a viral video, or just a video online, and it unleashes a spirit. And once they watch this video, it haunts them and just slowly but surely will kill them, or take them into his realm, or something. It's a weird movie. Have no idea who the fuck thought of this movie. Right off the bat, the premise of this movie is a complete fucking ripoff of The Ring. This movie does nothing to be like the actual games. And there are hundreds of games. Creative mods. You got Slendy Pants, SpongeBob Slendy, the Teletubby Slendies, Slender, The Arrival. That's one I played. That game's actually scary. You walk through cornfields. There's a guy chasing you. You gotta fucking scare him off with a flashlight. That game builds suspense. This movie does not build suspense at all. And I saw it with like 6 people in the theaters. Nobody gasped. Nobody yelled. Nobody screamed. The only thing that happened was people laughed. That's right, because this movie's terrible. And where they laughed was the scene where this chick was making out with this boyfriend. Right away, her friends are dying. Like, I think 2 people at this point were dead or gone, missing, right? And she doesn't show much emotion at all. She's like, oh, friends are missing. I guess they got picked up by some guy in an ice cream truck. Maybe he pulled up and took them away. You know, you got a character who's the main protagonist, and you could give a shit less about her. You couldn't. I don't know why I say that. You couldn't. You could not give a shit less about this person, and she's got the weirdest fucking smile ever. It's like the Truth or Dare. They should have hired her for Truth or Dare, because she's got the weirdest, creepiest fucking smile ever. And she's on this date with this guy right after 2 friends have gone missing, right? And immediately, this is her first date with this guy. I know they kind of established that she has a crush on him. And when she's on this date, the first thing they do is just make out. There's no introduction. There's no first date. They're not at the carnival and he wins her a prize. No, it's just they're going to make out right away because that's how horny she is, despite everything that's happening to her. And when your main protagonist, despite everything we as the audience have been seeing, doesn't believe what's going on around her, that pisses you off. It pisses me off when the characters in a movie just keep lying to their best friends and to everybody around them that everything's just fucking fabulous. They could be getting their heads sawed off slowly. Someone could walk by and be like, do you need help? No, I'm fine. Just fine. Everything's great. Thanks for asking though. That pisses me off. Just ask for help. Tell them what's going on. Tell your parents. They don't tell anybody. There's a scene where the first girl at the beginning, their town is so shitty that their idea of a field trip is going to a cemetery. That's right, I've never taken a class trip to a cemetery, and my high school was next to a fucking cemetery. So that would be an easy class trip, wouldn't you think? But they just go to a cemetery because it's a special cemetery. No, it doesn't look too special to me. It looks like every cemetery I've ever seen in my fucking life. This movie sucks at building suspense. It's poorly lit, but maybe they did it on purpose. Like, there are so many shots and scenes in this movie that try to be spooky, but I can't see shit. I can't even see the actor's face. I'm like, who is that? I don't know. And by the end of this movie, I was having a hard time remembering whose name was who, but then I finally figured out one of them. The girl who plays, like, her name's Ren, W-R-E-N. Weird fucking names. That makes it harder to remember. But she's like the girl from, like, White House Down, and she's from The Conjuring. She's the only decent person until she does something fucked up at the end. Won't spoil it. She's the only decent thing. Like, she's the only decent person. And she's actually the only one who believes. They got that cliche, like, scene in every movie like this where they have to go to the library to research shit and pick up a dozen books like they're gonna have time to read all of them. Give me a break. And then you got this one girl who is fucking like a 4-year-old child. No, she's not. Okay, I said that wrong. She's not fucking a 4-year-old child, but she is like a fucking 4-year-old child because her friend, they all go to the woods, they put blindfolds on, and when she's told not to take off her blindfold, her first thought, like a 4-year-old child, is to take the blindfold off immediately.
God fucking damn it!
So therefore, you have no sympathy towards this character and what she's about to get. She has it coming. The trailer for this movie was probably made right after it was done and edited, way before it was going to be released. Probably going to be rated R, until they realized how much of a shit movie they had, that they had to take all the fun that probably was in it out. But before they did that, they made the trailer and released it. There was 2 parts in that trailer that aren't in this movie at all. There's a part in the trailer where this girl, who's the dumbass taking the blindfold off, stabs herself in the eye with a scalpel. That is not in this movie at all. And that probably would have been the best part. Who the fuck knows? But if that was in this movie, that would have been after she had already been attacked and disappeared. Yeah, not really a spoiler. You know they're all gonna die in some weird way. But the first person who disappears in between cuts. It's like she's looking at the woods, and then the next scene they're talking about how she's missing. It's like, really? What the fuck happened there? It's like, oh yeah, she's missing now. You didn't know? No, I didn't, because that was the lamest death in movie history. She's just gone? Really? What happened? On the field trip, everybody's right in front of her. Nobody saw her disappear. Maybe she would have had help if she had fucking called for it, but like I said, they just keep lying to each other. Apparently they're friends, but they just lie to each other all the time. Oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm just seeing shit. I cannot stress how unlikable this main protagonist was. I hated her guts. She lied to her friends, she never asked for help, she's fucking stupid, she's creepy smile, and despite everything she's seen and witnessed, she doesn't believe anything that's going on. She's still making up excuses for what might be actually happening. It's like, no, get a fucking clue. They could have just tried to make this like the game. The game has plenty of source material, and they took nothing from it other than the look of Slender Man. That is the only thing they took from that movie. This movie doesn't even have a good score at all. It's fucking lame. They could have took the score from the game too. I'm sure that would have been cheap to buy. It's a very effective score. I'll probably play it throughout this whole review because that's how effective it is. This movie just drags and drags. Even though every scene is building up to something, it does not know how to build suspense at all. The only positive I can give this movie is the woods looked creepy. They looked kind of creepy, the way they lit it, but the way they lit it made everything else fucking hard to see. I wanted to sleep in this movie so bad. I was like looking at my watch, I realized I was only halfway through the movie.
God, I'm so bored! Somebody help me!
And at one point I realized there was only probably 15 minutes left, and I was like, thank God. You have no idea how many times I was rooting for this movie to end. Oh, and back to that one point I made about her, like, making out with that one guy. Well, she tells him not to look up the same video she saw, and then the next scene is the next day at school, and you know he looked at that video. Even though he promised his new girlfriend he wasn't, he did, because you see it right on his face. And he has, like, a freaking scar on his arm, and they don't do anything else with that. They don't explore that, because the movie ends, like, 20 minutes later. We don't know anything else about what happens to her boyfriend, nothing happens there. Nothing at all. It was not necessary, her boyfriend looking up that video. So we can just assume that her boyfriend dies after the credits roll, right? He's just gonna die later on, maybe. But we could not give a shit less about it. I don't even think they figure out how to beat the Slender Man. They just all fucking die. It's just, they don't figure out shit, they just make hypotheses. Like, let's just give him something we love and cherish, like my teddy bear. Maybe that will make it go away. Really? That's your first, like, really? That's it? Nope, that doesn't work, so we just all have to die. Maybe if we just kill ourselves. There's only like a handful of jump scares in this movie, and none of them work. There's a jump scare with just a woman walking by. She's like, oh, you startled me. This movie just fucking sucked. 100%. Do not waste any of your money on this movie. It is a typical, this is like the Bye Bye Man, probably. This is the Bye Bye Man of 2018. So do not go see it, because this movie is wasted time. I cannot believe I just wasted my time seeing that movie. Do not go see it. Well, if you did see it, let me know how much you hated it in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to click on my sexy face in 5 seconds for more rant-tastical videos. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.